Greetings, Earthlings. I'm Brittany Page, and this is Nerdgasm, your source for everything nerd, news, comics, and entertainment. This week is all about science fiction. We have exciting, out-of-this-world news on Star Wars. We'll run through the top 5 sci-fi doctors of all time and take a special look at the big sci-fi announcements at E3. Also, our team of debaters will duel it out in the basement of debate, deciding once and for all who's the greatest captain of the Starship Enterprise. But first, it's time for Nerd News. Star Wars fans get a new perspective on their favorite franchise, as those at E3 were able to check out the Star Wars universe with the help of Oculus. According to Entertainment Weekly, the demo gave fans control over where they were looking for characters C-3PO and R2-D2 while hiding from a stormtrooper. John Gaeta, ILMX Labs creative director, said, "What we're aiming for is to open the two-dimensional world of the movies and allow fans to walk into the world with the same visual fidelity." Mulder and Scully are back in production of The X-Files. The reboot is in full swing in beautiful British Columbia. Fans can look forward to the premiere of the 6-episode event on January 24th, 2016, and it'll be counted as the series' 10th season, airing 13 years after the show ended. Executive producer Chris Carter said, "I think of it as a 13-year commercial break. The good news is the world has only gotten much stranger, a perfect time to tell those 6 stories." This past week gave us the annual Electronic Entertainment Expo, and it was as exciting as ever. Software developers and gaming greats like Nintendo, Sony, and Microsoft were on hand to show the world what's in store in the years to come, and we want to share with you the very best of what's next in sci-fi gaming. Probably the most surprising and exciting was the reveal of Bethesda Softworks' Fallout 4. We all knew it was coming, so that was not a surprise, but what is surprising is the release date, November 10th, 2015. That's right, this year. We got our first taste in the new installment of the post-apocalyptic franchise. It'll bring us an epic story, intricate crafting system, and beautiful visuals of atomically ravaged Boston. We can't wait to visit the wastelands once again this winter. EA started off with a bang when they showcased their first trailer in the next chapter of BioWare's acclaimed sci-fi series, Mass Effect Andromeda. The 4th outing in the series brings us to an all-new galaxy and features the return of the all-terrain vehicle, the Mako. A lot of time has passed since the end of Commander Shepard's story, and we don't know much about the details yet, but this was just a glimpse of the game, and the release seems to be a ways off. Take your time, BioWare. With the pedigree they have, Mass Effect Andromeda will be well worth the wait. The most exciting game of 2015 is sure to come from a galaxy far, far away. The long-awaited next installment in the Star Wars Battlefront series finally hits the next-gen console this year, and from what we've seen, it's likely to surpass all expectations. With dramatic and exciting battles ripped straight from the original trilogy, large-scale conflicts on both Hoth and Endor, and even a first look at one of the new planets from The Force Awakens. We can't wait to get our hands on this game. Vehicles, dogfights, complete with supported third and first-person playstyles, that's just the tip of the iceberg. Did we mention hero characters? As seen in the latest trailer, you'll be able to hit the battlefield as iconic Star Wars characters like Luke Skywalker and Darth Vader, locking lightsabers as the battle rages on. The Force is strong with Battlefront, and it can't come soon enough. This week's top 5 is all about our favorite doctors, so let's not waste time and jump right on in.
Oh my stars and garters, at number 5 we have Dr. Henry McCoy, better known as the Beast, one of the founding members of the X-Men. Made popular from the Saturday morning cartoon and a notable performance by Kelsey Grammer in The Last Stand, Beast ranks 5th for his combination of strength, wit, and genius-level intelligence, and we think his blue fur is pretty cool too.
Oh my stars!
Coming in at number 4 is Dr. Harleen Quinzel. We all know and love Harley Quinn as Joker's on-again, off-again sociopathic girlfriend. Although often used for infatuation with the Joker, Quinn stands out as one of the most popular doctors in comics. Her psychiatrist background is certainly used to her advantage, and her complete disregard for human life sets her apart from most of the doctors. Here at Nerdgasm, we look forward to seeing her on the big screen for the first time in Suicide Squad.
Knock, knock, Puddin'. Say hello to your new, improved Harley Quinn.
At number 3 is Doctor Doom, the most evil and probably most badass looking villain on our list. Dr. Victor Von Doom is infamous for his battles with the Fantastic Four, but has also stuck his metallic nose in the business of the Avengers and other major Marvel heroes. Easily recognizable by his iconic iron mask and green cloak, the brilliant scientist can be found plotting for world domination, and you know what? Part of us almost wants him to win.
All under the benevolence of my iron will.
Dr. Leonard Bones McCoy is the first non-comic doctor to crack our top 5. With his sly wit, no-nonsense attitude, and his love-hate relationship with Vulcans, Bones beams into the list at the number 2 spot. The legendary doctor with the USS Enterprise was made famous from his portrayal by the late DeForest Kelley, and his popularity reached new heights when Carl Urban expertly played the cranky physician in the 2009 Star Trek reboot.
I'm a doctor, not an escalator.
And our number 1 doctor of all time? Why, it's the Doctor, of course. Easily the most iconic doctor in all of science fiction, Doctor Who's title character spans over 5 decades of television. With fans ranging from adolescents to baby boomers, it's no wonder that this doctor is held in such high regard. No Dalek or Cyberman could stop the Doctor from taking the top spot on our greatest doctors of all time. Allons-y.
Don't even blink. Blink and you're dead.
Agree? Disagree? Comment below, follow us on Twitter, and use the hashtag NerdgasmTop5 to tell us what you think. And vote for next week. We want to know what underrated hero you'd like to see on the big screen. We all have our favorite captain, especially when it comes to those in Star Trek. But who's the best? There's no denying it. We all know it really only comes down to 2. Captain James Tiberius Kirk and Captain Jean-Luc Picard. But who, if it's even possible to decide, is the best in Starfleet? Let's get ready to rumble! It's time again for the Basement of Debate. On the side of Kirk, please welcome Atul. And on the side of Picard, we have Gord.
So, Picard?
Yeah, Picard. What's wrong with Picard?
Kirk started it all. Do you remember Generations? What did Picard say about Kirk when he was beating up that scientist who wanted to get back in the Nexus?
I don't remember.
Haven't you read your history books? That's what he said.
That's true.
He admired Kirk. He knew about it, and he looked up to Kirk as a hero of the past, 80 years ago.
Of the past.
Yes.
Of the past, though. So everything that Kirk has done, Picard, yeah, Kirk started it, sure, but Picard's able to build on it and take it to the next level.
Well, absolutely. Well, it's easy to do that. It's like saying, well, Alexander Graham Bell invented the telephone. He goes, yeah, but you can't get Google Maps on it. It's not fair, now is it?
I guess so, but this is a lot harder than I thought it would be.
Well, okay, look at, we talked about, you mentioned Kirk Prime versus the new Kirk, right?
Yeah.
Well, the interesting thing about Kirk Prime versus the new Kirk is that there is a consistency, right? And they give you a little bit of insight into who Kirk really is when you strip out his Boy Scout training in Starfleet.
Yeah.
What does Pat Pike say about him?
Captain Pike, he's
Yeah.
reckless.
He does say that, but he says that you're the only genius level. He looked into his records. He's a genius level.
Oh yeah, that's right.
In testing. That's why he
That's
picked
why he
him up.
actually goes for him?
Absolutely.
I guess that makes more sense than just picking out a guy in the bar. Because of his dad, right?
Absolutely.
That would just be ridiculous.
I mean, we have to overlook. It's true with Kirk. We have to forgive a few things, right?
Yeah, it's a different time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We have to forgive the toupee.
Because first Star Trek's the Wild West, I guess, and by the time the next generation rolls around, it's more of a civilized, civilized North America was, 100 years later, just like in Star Trek, that sort of thing.
Absolutely.
I guess.
Yeah.
So 2 different worlds.
And so with Picard, now you mentioned Picard's willingness to follow the rules. How do you think that does that give him an advantage or a disadvantage?
I think it works for him better than it would for Kirk, because Kirk kind of has to break the rules. It's part of his personality.
Mm-hmm.
He can't really go with the rules the entire time. But Picard's always been a by the books kind of guy. Ever since he finally actually got into Starfleet, ever since he actually got it, especially once he got a command role. Oh, I lost where I was going there.
Do you remember the episode where Picard lived an entire life in a few minutes?
Yeah, that's one of the best episodes they ever did.
I agree. I would agree.
And he's actually able to handle that. Not everybody can handle that.
Absolutely.
Like it doesn't break his mind after that.
It doesn't. But what I was wondering is why didn't it give him more depth or wisdom? Because you see him later, and you know, he's like this crabby old man in the finale. You go, what? I'm not crazy. You know.
Well, at least he learned how to play that little flute thing, I guess.
Yeah, he did.
He learned
that's what he got out of.
that.
He learned how to play the flute.
Yeah, which they actually showed in other episodes later on, instead of just like completely forgetting about
playing
it.
the Brandenburg Concerto with.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you know, and I know people come down on Kirk for being a womanizer.
True.
Yes, but he never did date anyone on the Enterprise. Name somebody on the Enterprise. He didn't even date Yeoman Rand, and he was crazy about her.
Oh, there's probably something going on off screen that you didn't get to see.
Oh, only in the Mirror universe. Yeah,
I guess so.
He did the evil Kirk had.
What about every planet he went to?
Yeah,
I mean, the ship's one thing.
But
like
they didn't work for him though.
I guess so.
They didn't work for him, you know.
He understood labor laws.
That's it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so he at least obeyed sexual harassment rules.
I guess so. So did Picard, I guess.
Well, him and Beverly got it on, didn't they?
Sort of. Not. That was what episode was that? That was when the whole crew got taken over by that disease that ended up ramping up their hormones and all that stuff.
Oh yeah.
When Tasha Yar and Data get together, a spin-off of an old
That's
the original
right,
series.
From the original series, yeah.
So that's the closest they got to. But if you watch it, Picard has to try really, really hard to hold back and stay professional, and he does it. It gets really, really difficult for him, but he's able to pull it off.
Oh sure.
Despite being overwhelmed.
I'm not going to hold it. Hey, we've all been there, right?
That's true.
No.
So kudos to
but-
Picard for holding back, even when he doesn't have all his wits about him.
Absolutely, but so yeah, and Picard under normal circumstances would follow every single rule.
But if Kirk was in that position, he would jump right on it, no problem.
You think so?
Guaranteed,
I don't think
guaranteed.
So.
Because he'd be like, "Oh, I was overwhelmed by that alien virus. It was totally not my fault."
Yeah. Well, there was a time when Kirk split into two, but it was his more aggressive side and his logical side. The aggressive side did try to go for it, and he was a jerk. Right?
Oh,
We
of
hated
course.
him. But there is that other side to Kirk.
I think that's like the true deep down Kirk, though.
Is it?
It could be.
It is and it
be.
isn't. And Spock did point that out. You're right. He did say that that's you. And Kirk was like, that can't be me, man.
Yeah. But I guess luckily the other side keeps him in check. So who knows what Kirk could have done.
And you know,
otherwise.
Picard did have hair at one point, right?
He did.
They showed him with hair.
Yeah.
They showed him as a young man with hair getting into a fight, and he got into a fight when he was in the academy with those three tall guys.
When he was younger, he was a lot more reckless than Nausicaans.
All right, guys. Well, do you have any other more points to add?
I don't know. You got anything else?
Oh well, I say there's merits to both captains, but
I'd have to agree with
I
that.
believe that there is much more similarity to Picard and Kirk than people tend to give credit for.
Can't argue with that, actually.
All right, well, I guess we'll never really truly know who's the greatest captain of the Starship Enterprise because I don't think there's an answer to that question. Thanks for watching Basement of Debate. Well, there you have it, another great debate. But let's be realistic. No one can truly decide the Enterprise's greatest captain. Let us know who you think won the debate or who you think the best captain in Trek history is in the comments below. I'm Brittany Page. Live long and prosper.